Welcome to Blade HQ, everybody. It is March 27th, and we're going to talk about some new knives and a pair of pliers for fun. Let's talk about it. We'll start this party off with the newly restocked, but you've seen it before, Chaves Ultramar Redencion Streets that just came in. These ones are these beefy titanium frame locks. If you're looking for a hard user knife that can fill out the hand and really take a beating, but also is as sexy as any knife that was ever made, this is the one for you. Featuring an M390 blade in that titanium frame lock and the iconic Chaves skull clip. And this one is a little bit of an update from previous models. Previously, the screw to hold the clip in was on the inside, so it was behind the backspacer, but now it's on the outside, giving your skull some eyebrows, but also enabling you to put a different clip on. So it comes with another milled clip. So if the skull isn't quite your jam, you get a much more neutral clip in the box with the knife when you get it. So whatever you like to carry with your Chaves, whether it's the skull clip or something more standard, you can do it just straight out of the box with the Redencion Street. These are going for $345 at BladeHQ.com right now. Next up, we have the Blade HQ exclusive Kizer Harpoon. It's a Maverick Customs design. You've seen the mini, but this one's the full size. Someone came in here and cut something with this. That's uncool. It was him. Anyway, this one came in. I apologize for the marks on the coating. It was somebody else. It wasn't me, I promise. This one is a CPM 10V blade, like the mini as well, and it is an absolute slicer with this very high flat grind. So that's what I meant by a tall flat grind. That refers to the grind, which is what tapers from the thickness of the blade to the thinness of the edge, and how much range it has to go down, how wide the blade is. And the wider the blade, the taller your grind and the thinner your edge can be. And this one is super wide and super thin. This thing will glide through paper, through wood, through skin on animals, through meat, whatever you're doing, this thing will cut. And CPM 10V has off the charts edge retention thanks to its incredible amount of vanadium, which just forms really hard carbides and is almost as hard as diamond in the end. So you're going to not have any trouble slicing through stuff. This one comes in this green micarta. We also have a black micarta and a natural micarta. All of them are really fun. They got these lanyard holes. You want to do something with that. And they come with these updated Kydex sheaths with these nice like half-size Tech-Lock-like clips on the back. So if you want to run it as a neck knife or on your belt or on a pack, whatever, it's going to be easy for you to do. A really awesome knife. I will warn you, however, CPM 10V is a carbon steel and it might rust on you. So make sure you take care of it, strop it regularly. But it's a great knife, especially for its price of only $80. It is so magical that we live in a time when you can get CPM 10V on a fixed blade for $80. There were people in living memory who would only dream of such luxuries that we have in the knife community today. Next up, we have the Tops Knives Field Dog. So this one was designed by Anna Espinoza, who is the wife of Leo Espinoza, who owns Tops. And this is sort of a hunting knife. And I like it because it's got this layered G10 handle plus this on top texture, I guess. So you get the blaze orange for hunting, and then this deep slicey belly. It's not super thick, but it's thick enough if you need to get through bone or whatever. It's a hunting knife, prime and clear. But I could see this used as a kitchen knife or even as an everyday carry fixed blade, just because it's got a nice point. It's got a nice, almost Nessmuk-like hump. It's a really excellent blade for whatever it is you're going to cut. That's why I think it's called the Field Dog. Yes, it looks like a hunting knife, and it would excel in that role, but it's a great field knife in general. Working with wood, or building a fence, or hunting, whatever you're doing, this knife is great to bring along, and I love this sheath as well. The sheath has belt loops on both sides of the sheath, as well as this whole wrap over thing if you want to run it horizontal. Right hand, left hand, vertical, whatever you're doing, it'll be easy with that sheath. Next up, the wild card we were talking about, we have the Knipex. I've been saying Knipex, I'm probably wrong. It's a German company, and I cannot say any German word for the life of me. But these are a new brand. This is the 5-inch, they're called Cobra water pump pliers. And they, I guess, are made for water pumps, but they're just great all-around pliers. They have these adjustable things, so you can make it a much bigger or smaller. And this brand, and especially these particular pliers, have taken the knife and tool community by storm because of what they offer for you. So normally I carry a Leatherman, And a Leatherman is a really awesome tool, but a lot of people realize like, well, I already have a knife on me. So the knife it's gravy. It's always good to have another knife, but I don't necessarily need it as much as I might use other things. It's got some screwdrivers and whatnot, but the thing I use the most is those pliers. And if all you're using on your Leatherman is your pliers, some people think, well, why don't I just carry a pair of pliers instead? And that's where these come in, because these pliers have a hinge here. So they're like almost a folding knife in that way. They're pre-broken in the middle so that they can collapse. But this are two monolithic sides that make for pliers that are much more sturdy and ready to be gripped on, and as well as those adjustable jaws. So if you're gonna tighten a bolt or something, it's gonna be easy peasy lemon squeezy with these pliers. And for only $33.95, you're getting these German-made super premium pliers that are just ready to go. Next up, we have the Kansept Knives KTC3. So this one, like this particular one's a titanium frame lock with S35 VN. It's a very premium knife, but it also has this aggressive hawkbill shape, and it's almost karambit-like if you want to hold it in this way. And it's tactical, but also just a premium everyday carry knife. I think that's something people enjoy, because that a lot of the time when it's a tactical everyday carry crossover sort of knife, it definitely errs on the side of tactical, like this SOG we're going to talk about in a minute. But this one, I think, errs on the side of everyday carry. And as I've told everybody who's like, why would you carry a knife when you could carry a gun? I'm going to say, because I'm going to use my knife 1,000 times, probably more, before you'll use your gun. And the reason is because, I mean, I'd like to see your gun slice your apple. I'd like to see your gun open your package. Sure, you could do it, but you might anger the neighbors in doing so. But for the same reason, I really like this. It's an everyday carry knife that can be used in a tactical role and definitely has a blade for it. But it also is just a great knife for opening boxes with these points on these hawkbill style blades. These points are absolutely razor sharp. Great for cutting through paper or cutting through tomatoes, like digging into the cutting board to get through it. It's not gonna be a problem at all. And then this curve of the edge makes it so it can shear through ropes and stuff a little bit easier. It's a great knife all around. And it comes in two sort of variations. Starting at $79, you can get the micarta variants, micarta or G10, and they have 154 cm blades. But if you want to step it up a little bit, you can get the titanium and S35 VN versions starting at $180, which is a really great deal, especially for the materials, build quality, and action you're getting out of these KTC3s. If it were me, I'd have worked on that name a little bit. That's a little hard to remember, but we'll work with it. It's a good knife. Next up, we have the brand new Blade HQ exclusive Kershaw Lucha with these white handles and blades and this black hardware. And they call this the Stormtrooper white. I think it fits. I think the true Stormtrooper variation would be a black blade, but white, my goodness, does that pop. I think white is a color that we need to see on knives more often. It just looks good. And people say, but it gets dirty and it gets gummed up. I'm like, yeah, it's awesome, right? It patinas better than I would say most coatings do. Anyway, this one has that 14C28N blade and the steel handles, and they are going for $179.95. And it's everything you love about the Kershaw Lucha. A nice beginner butterfly knife, learn on it. It's got bearings in the pivots, and you can tune those by using these double-sided Torx pivots. Got a nice black latch, which you can remove if you're a serious flipper, and then a really utilitarian blade shape. Sometimes on butterfly knives, we forget that these are also cutting tools. Yeah, sure, it can flip really well, but can it open a box? This one has not forgotten its roots, and that's what I love about Kershaw. All of their knives are knives first, and that makes it, so this is a great thing for, you know, camping, hunting. I mean, excuse me, has anybody skinned a deer with a butterfly knife? If you've skinned a deer with a butterfly knife, I want to hear about it in the comments. I think that might be a short we do sometime. Can you skin an animal with a butterfly knife? I'm in. Man, that flips pretty nice. Let's see, we got the thumb roll over. Woo! This is fun. Okay, distracted. All right, next up on the table, we have the brand new from CRKT and kind of from Tops, Bugsy. So CRKT came out swinging this year with USA-made knives. They made a couple of lurch designs with Hogue that were folders, and this fixed blade was made by Tops. Features the 1095 blade we've come to know, love, and expect from Tops. Nice micarta handle. USA made, built for the field. And this one comes with a leather sheath, but there's also a black G10 version that has VEF serrations, as well as a Kydex sheath. So if you wanted to take it a bit more tactical. Very exciting. I love to see CRKT coming out with cool stuff, especially the USA made, because they always find the coolest designs from the coolest designers, and they make some really awesome products. These are going for $200 at Blade HQ right now. Next up, we have the Blade HQ exclusive SOG Seal XR, and this one is the Ranger like OD green handle and a stone-washed blade instead of the black blade. Now, a lot of people like those stone-washed blades because, especially on an S35 VN here, a nice stainless, they don't need a coating wearing off that'll keep their steel from rusting. The steel can keep itself from rusting, so they are much more keen on the smooth and clean cutting surface provided by a raw contact with the steel. But other than that, it's the SOG Seal XR. It is big, it's overbuilt. I would wager that there is not a knife in existence with more jimping than this one. It is positively covered in the stuff. So if you're wearing big gloves or something and you're afraid you're gonna lose grip, do not fear. The SOG Seal XR will hold your hand probably more than you want to hold it. It is so grippy. Got a nice strike pommel as well. It is a tactical folder if the world has ever seen one. And it's got a really nice, smooth, drop shut, really wiggly action. I could just do that all day. Set my clock to that. Be good times. Gotta love that one. And then lastly, we have the GiantMouse Atelier. Atelier? I'm not even gonna try. I'm gonna call it the Mini Grand because let's face it, that's basically what it is. In fact, on GiantMouse's website, they have whatever French word and then in parentheses, Mini Grand. It is the GiantMouse Grand, but in a smaller profile, in a smaller package. And this, I believe, is my favorite GiantMouse. It just fits my hand just perfectly. You get your 3 fingers in this big groove here, and then your pinky holds on right there. A perfect 4-finger grip. Not a centimeter more than you need, but just enough. It's got a lanyard hole if you feel like you need it, and a reversible wire pocket clip, so it'll be nice and easy to carry right or left-handed, and an LMAX blade. I really like LMAX. From what I've learned about it over the years, I found LMAX makes a very fine grain structure. So not only is it fairly tough for a stainless steel, but when you sharpen it, it can take a far keener edge than some of the more gritty steels that you can get out there. So if you are in love with maximum sharpness, look at this knife with LMAX, this Atelier. I'm just gonna stick with that, Atelier. It's a really awesome one, flicky, use your finger, use your thumb. The liner lock is easy to actuate, a very premium knife, and at a fairly reasonable price, $215 for the micarta version and $285 if you want the titanium version. Anyway, that's some new knives for the week. We hope you've enjoyed. Subscribe for more knife content. Let us know what you think, and we'll see you on the next one.